if you have an opportunity to actually shoot it in the environment it takes place in, it's a huge bonus. You can cheat it, but it helps when if it's meant to be, 30 below, that it actually is, and that you have real wolves and you're out in the element.
We had wolf actors, but we did hear, we did hear Hal once, but that might have been our guys, like off in their trailer somewhere. But you can't recreate this on a soundstage, and I think what drew me, and I think what perhaps for Jeremy too as a filmmaker, it's just incredibly beautiful. At the end of the day, I don't mind the cold so much. I love being out there, man. I just love being out there, and I loved it. My character loved it as well. That was a part of that's family for him. The elements and these wolves, and it was just so. It was so immersive. It was again incredibly beautiful. And I didn't, we just layered up and went for it. I was colder surfing in L.A. when I took a break for a couple of days, than I was out there.
For the record, when Jeffrey did his wolf call on that ledge, actual nearby dogs or wolves answered on camera. He really actually called them and they responded. So it was another check in the box of, is this legit?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My grandmother used to say, Jeffrey, why do all dogs take to you? She said, dogs take to dogs, I think I have, I don't know.
Her animalistic quality.
Yeah, I get a canine thing or something that appeals.
Or primal.
Anyway.
Well, the setup is basically a retired naturalist and wolf expert is summoned to a remote village in Alaska to investigate the disappearance of a young child. Pretty much everything from then on out is shocking and mysterious and takes bizarre turns and twists. But it is certainly about the elements. It's an odyssey. It has elements of a western, a crime thriller, an adventure film. So it's a whole lot wrapped up into one, hopefully exciting film.
The most difficult things for me are spoiler alerts, but I think just being in the headspace of somebody who has gone through what she's gone through, and also figuring out who she is.
She's the one that summons Jeffrey's character, Russell Core, to this remote village, and there's so much depth there and mystery. It is hard to discuss. We're tiptoeing around it.
But then there's darkness in the family history as well. So you'll discover that
there's darkness
later
everywhere.
in the movie. We're surrounded by darkness, literally and metaphorically.
I'm from the independent film world, so I don't write at that level. I do something. If no one wants to fund my movie, I'll pay for it myself. I do immediate movies, small scale movies. So this was a chance to have all that intimacy and more, but also explode the level of scope and scale. I can say there wasn't a single green screen on set the whole movie, and that was very exciting. But the film, the sequence itself, the big shootout, was sort of one hand a childhood dream. I love action cinema. I love sort of cinematic destruction, but also the narrative weight and the oppressive nature of this sequence and the brutality was heavy stuff. And so there's also a lot to dig into in that room. So it was a very satisfying sequence, and I think we executed with relative precision.
The other shootout in Morocco was a bit more challenging with everything. That was a tough one. Everything broke down. The Humvee, the gun, we had 3 days to shoot the whole, the introduction to Sloan, my character, is that you find him overseas in war, could be Afghanistan or Iraq. So we were up, but instead it was tough.
There was one day,
worked.
The day you're referring to, the camera broke, the crane broke, the tow rig broke.
Yeah, my will to live broke.
Yeah.
I didn't know, because you were sitting there getting sunburned on top of a Humvee.
I was up in the turret of the Humvee the whole time with a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was intense.
And then the sandstorms. Yeah, it was tough.